Okay, so you've done all you can to keep up on your credit card payments, but you've still fallen behind. And now you may have received a letter saying that you need to pay a certain amount within the next 30 days or your account will be charged off. So what does this actually mean? Can collectors collect on this anymore? Well, that's what we're gonna go through today and more. So let's get started. Welcome to Ascend Finance's YouTube channel, where we cover debt relief and help you understand the costs, pros, and cons to help you be more informed and get out of debt cheaper, easier, and faster. My name is Justin. And let's begin. In this video, I'm going to cover a few different things. The one thing would be including, what a charge-off is and how to handle it. And so the first thing we'll touch on is what is a charge-off. The second thing will be, can debt collectors collect on them? Third would be how to protect yourself from illegal or fraudulent collection activity. And finally, what should you do about this debt to avoid a debt collection lawsuit? Now, as we understand, everyone's situation is unique. We actually built a free debt resolution options calculator that I actually linked in the description below that'll provide a cost, duration, and pro and con breakdown for your different options. It'll help you compare between debt settlement, debt management, or even bankruptcy so that you can see everything holistically and make the most informed decision. Now, if this video ends up being helpful, feel free to leave a like down below, as it's always encouraging for us to see. And if you want to see more content down the road to help you get out of debt, feel free to subscribe, as we're trying to make new videos weekly. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So first thing that I wanted to touch on is just at a high level what a charge-off actually is. So charge-offs are accounts that actually are closed by the financial institution for lack of payment, and they may be reflected as bad debt on your credit report, which essentially means that the lender was unable to receive payment and wrote the debt off. Now, a charge-off occurs when a credit account goes without payment, generally when it's more than 120 days. The account essentially goes into a closed status, but the remarks will say charge off as bad debt or something to that extent. Now, with that said though, can debt collectors collect on a charge-off? So you're probably wondering whether or not a charge-off account actually can be sold to a collection agency or if you're still responsible. Well, in short, yeah, you're still obligated to pay that debt, but it depends on how old the charge-off account is. So before agreeing to pay it in full or settling for less or any of that, you should actually check with your state attorney general's office to inquire about the statute of limitation. So if the statute of limitations is not up, it may be your best interest to pay off the debt or, like I said, settle it for less. So let's say all of the correspondence that you've been receiving regarding a charge-off account seems legitimate, but you're still unsure about the balance, the creditor, or the collection agency name, or maybe you don't even recognize it at all. So what do you actually do? What are you supposed to do? First off, do not pay anything until you do your own research. They need to be able to prove that the debt's yours. You can send them a debt validation letter, which essentially is requesting them to prove that the debt's actually yours. Now, can a debt collector sue you for a charge-off? Yes, a debt collector can sue you for a charged-off account. So, for example, let's say your account has been charged up for about a year now, and one day you get a certified letter in the mail and you find out that there's either the original creditor or now a collection agency suing you for the balance, but more because it has the interest and fees that may be associated with the account. And you're thinking to yourself, is this even legal? Are they allowed to sue me? This account has been charged off. Yeah, they can, unfortunately. And so what I want to go through now is kind of what should you do about this debt to avoid a debt collection lawsuit? So you may be at a point where you're ready to get out from under the debt and looking for some ways to do so. So holistically comparing between the options can be one of the best things to do. So first, I want to touch on Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the traditional, what they call the liquidation bankruptcy. So what happens here is you're filed a bankruptcy in about 90 to 120 days, you're actually discharged. Now, the one thing to be aware of is you have to qualify for it as through to income and asset requirements, let's say, and it's probably around $1,000 to $2,000 altogether. It just depends on the state you're in and the complexity of your case. The other bankruptcy would be Chapter 13. Now, this is more of a restructure of the debt where you can pay, let's say, 10 cents on the dollar or 50% of the debt back or 100% back. It really just depends on your disposable income and a few other things. The next thing is the debt settlement. So this is where you're actually negotiating on your debts and actually settling them for less, whether you do it over a lump sum sum payment and pay the creditor or the collection agency a one payment, or doing it over 12, 24, 18 payments, whatever it ends up being. Now, this is something you can do on your own, or you can work with an attorney or work with a debt settlement company to do. Now, let's say you're watching this video and you're thinking, yeah, I was already thinking of doing debt settlement, and now that you bring it up, that probably makes sense. I'll do that. Well, if you're interested in kind of understanding, different reputable companies to look for, or what our favorites are, as there's a lot of debt settlement companies out there, I'll link in below in the description some of our favorites, and you can take a look at that and you can see, which companies and the reviews, and you can submit and see if, it'd be helpful to speak with them. So I'll link that in the description below. Now, with all that to say, I do hope that this video was helpful. If you have questions at all, you can comment down below, as I'm sure there are others with the same question, or give us a call or text. You can call us or text us at 833-272-3631. You can speak with me or someone here, and you can ask us any questions, or if you just want to chat about your situation, we would love to. Thanks again for watching. I'm always here if you have questions.